Hey guys, HDvee here and welcome to a brand new video. Today we've got quite a few things to go over. We have some anime updates, we have some pretty big rumors for Pokémon Legends Za, we have some potential Nintendo Switch 2 leaks. There's a lot of things to break down and get into today. So if you're excited for the video, as always, make sure to drop a like down below. Let's try and hit 500 likes, it really helps out. Leave a comment with your thoughts on anything we cover in today's video. Subscribe if you're brand new for daily Pokemon content. Ring the notification bell. With all of that out of the way though, let's get into the video and I really hope that you enjoy. So, starting things off, let's go over this quick Pokemon news. We have PokeExperto here tweeting out saying a special Pokemon news program called News Pokemon Satellite will air on the 13th of April. So that is, I believe, this Saturday it is. The show will feature information from the Pokemon Horizons anime in its new terrestrial debut arc, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet battles, and promotion of Pokemon Centers. So I don't think there's going to be anything crazy here related to like Pokemon Legends Za or anything like that. I think it is just primarily for the Pokemon anime and Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. It's just going to tie in all of the new information with the new Pokemon arc that's going to be in Pokemon Horizons, because obviously Sprigatito's evolved now. It's all about the terrestrial energy and everything like that, Terrapagos. And there's also going to be promotion of Pokemon Centers as well. So there might be a special Pokemon Center event in Japan or something like that. But I highly doubt anything kind of game worthy is going to be revealed in this event. But of course, if you're a big fan of the anime, then you could definitely tune into this. It's going to be a lot of hopefully juicy information about the Pokemon anime. You never know, there may always be a Pokemon announced in the Pokemon anime. It's happened on a few occasions. I don't think it'd be this early in the Pokemon anime, but it could still be something cool to watch. And again, let's hope that we get something, but again, very, very unlikely. Either way, that's that. Next up, we have some new Nintendo Switch stuff to go over, potential updates for the Nintendo Switch 2 as well. We have this being posted on Nintendo Life saying Nintendo files patent to ease troublesome Switch dock wires. So this was posted on last Wednesday at 10:45 a.m. And it says, when you first set up your Nintendo Switch to connect to your TV, you may have been aware of the dock's limitations when it came to connecting the necessary wires. So looking at the dock from the back, the AC adapter, HDMI out, and LAN ports all face towards the left. If your TV houses its ports on the right hand side, this means you need to either loop the wires around to the right in order to connect them, or strategically position your dock to the left of your TV in order to alleviate the issue. So it's a bit of a problem, obviously, if you are having to deal with that for the Nintendo Switch. However though, well, this might well be a thing of the past if a recent patent from Nintendo eventually comes to fruition. It's also equally likely that it won't, by the way. So it was dated on the 2nd of April 2024, which is obviously very, very recent, and posted to the Reddit Gaming Leaks and Rumors page. The patent is essentially a rotating I/O, which is input and output, panel designed to allow you to position the dock's ports on either side, left or right. So this is obviously the patent. So as you can see, this thing here on the back, which obviously has all the wires and stuff, can actually turn, left and right. So obviously if your TV's on the left side, then you can turn it so the wires are facing that way. If your TV's on the right side, then obviously you can face it this way to kind of like coincide with that. So it's obviously a very, very useful kind of adaptation of the Nintendo Switch. Now, this is for the Nintendo Switch. This isn't for the Switch 2. And again, this may never come to light, but there could be something similar like this used on the Nintendo Switch 2, because it's a very, very useful kind of feature really for the console. The below images show the solution in action, showcasing what Nintendo describes as the swivel block, rotating 180 degrees to allow the ports to swap from left to right. 2 USB ports are also located on the opposite side, so they would also flip over accordingly. As you're no doubt already aware, the USB ports on the current dock are located on the right side exterior, again looking at it from the back. So we should stress that the likelihood of this ever becoming a reality is somewhat slim, at least with the current Nintendo Switch models. The console is now over 7 years old and presumably nearing the end of its life cycle, having sold over 139 million units. So for Nintendo to produce a solution such as this now seems somewhat needless. It would be pointless. Like, the Nintendo Switch 2 is most likely going to get announced in a couple of months. It's going to come out next year. There is no reason for them to release a new Nintendo Switch console. It's absolutely stupid. However, though, this feature, as I said, could be on the Nintendo Switch too. So they say, as for the console's eventual successor, well, who knows? It does seem like an elegant solution to a very specific problem, but right now, how the Switch 2 will actually function is anybody's guess. So this has been patented recently. Again, it's for the Nintendo Switch, but it might just have come back into kind of fruition because it's going to be used again for the Nintendo Switch 2 or something like that. But it would be a very, very useful thing because, like I say, if your TV is in a certain position, your Switch has to also be in a certain position with the one that we have now. But obviously with the Switch 2, that could all be changed. It looks quite nice as well, being able to like rotate it and stuff. So I really hope that this is the case for the next console. But either way, that was posted on Nintendo Life. We'll see if this obviously comes to light when the Nintendo Switch 2 is announced. Because I'm assuming when we get the trailer for it, it will show the console and it will show things like this and extra kind of benefits and stuff to obviously buying the new console. Anyway, that's all that. Moving on, we have a pretty interesting rumor to go over today. So this was posted on Monday, so yesterday. It's titled Legends Za by Anonymous, and it has a picture of Magina here, and it has just loads of different points as to what's apparently going to be happening in the new game. Now again, take it with a massive grain of salt. This was posted on 4chan, so like 999 times out of 1,000 it's going to be fake, but still really fun to go over. And again, sometimes even if they get things wrong, they could still happen in the game. So let's read on. So they start things off by saying 16 new Mega Evolutions. The most exciting new Mega forms are the Generation 6 starters. So 16 I think is a pretty healthy number of Mega Evolutions to get in Pokemon Legends ZA. I would like to see that kind of amount. I hope it's not like 3 or 4 and it's just like the legendaries that get one, because that'd be kind of poor. I really want a ton of new Mega Evolutions, and I feel like there will be, because they've showcased the Mega Evolution symbol so early on. I think it's going to be quite a big element to the story, and because of that, I think that, yeah, there's going to be hopefully quite a few Mega Evolutions. Whether all of the previous Mega Evolutions return, this rumor doesn't say that. It kind of makes sense that they all don't return, because like Mewtwo would not exist by the time that Legends ZA is out. So why would we get Mega Mewtwo? Unless there's like a time distortion or something like that. Pokemon like Mega Rayquaza makes sense, but you know, Pokemon like Mewtwo just don't really work into the story. But again, you never know, it could work. And they also say the most exciting new Mega forms are the Generation 6 starters. So that would be obviously Mega Greninja, Mega Chestnut, and Mega Delphox. So I'm assuming that means that the Generation 6 starters are going to be the actual starters of Pokemon Legends ZA according to this rumor. But yeah, so that's 13 other Mega Evolutions, and then 3 for the starters, obviously, which, like I say, very healthy number. They then go on to say Mega Magina revealed at Worlds 2024. I actually spoke about this recently. I think that if there is going to be a Mega Pokemon revealed at Worlds, it does make sense that it is Magina, because it has so many Kalos connections, but it's a Generation 7 mon. And obviously, we're a Worlds 2024 set. It's set in Hawaii, which is obviously the kind of region for Alola, Pokemon Sun and Moon, which is where Magina debuted. That would make sense because of all the Kalos connections to actually get a Mega Evolution. Whether it gets a Mega Evolution is, I guess, up in the air. I mean, like I said, Diancie got one, so maybe Magina gets one. That'd be a really cool Pokemon to get a Mega Evolution. Especially because there's like the Mega, not the Mega, but like the Pokeball form of Magina in Pokemon Home for like completing the Living Dex. It'd be cool if we got a Mega Evolution version of it as well. So yeah, it says Mega Magina revealed at Worlds 2024, most likely as it's a Generation 7 mon with strong connections to Kalos, so links nicely. Yeah, exactly. So that could be something that happens if it does get a Mega Evolution. There's not really any other kind of Generation 7 Pokemon that makes sense to get a Mega Evolution, unless one of the starters are the starters of Legends ZA, which would be Litten, Popplio, or Rowlet. We just got Rowlet in Legends Arceus, so it can't be that. So it'd have to be Popplio or Litten. And if that's the case, then maybe one of those get a Mega Evolution and they're revealed at Worlds. But I guess if you reveal one of them, you have to reveal all the starters. Because obviously Generation 6 is before Generation 7, so all the Generation 7 mons you wouldn't expect to be in the game. But either way, I think Magina definitely makes the most sense if it was going to get a Mega Evolution to reveal it at Worlds, because it kind of brings the two regions together. So yeah, so far so good. I quite like this rumor. It says, oh, the starter Pokemon are... Wait, the starter Pokemon are Snivy, Torchic, and Piplup, as most have guessed. And yes, they do get new forms just like the Arceus starters. Okay, so the starter Pokemon are actually these 3, and the Mega starters, I'm assuming you just get at some other point in the game. But I mean, yeah, Snivy, Torchic, and Piplup, I think are going to be the mega starters. Well, I think if it's not the Generation 6 starters, I think it is going to be these three for Pokemon Legends ZA. Like I say, Snivy has a lot of connotations to France. Torchic is based on a rooster, which is the national animal of France. Then Piplup, obviously, with Napoleon and stuff. So it definitely makes sense for them to be the starters. But if it's not those, I could definitely see it being the Generation 6 starters. But yeah, it says, as most have guessed, and yes, they do get new forms like the Arceus starters. So we'd get like Kalos starters for Snivy, Torchic, and Piplup, but then we'd get Mega Evolution starters for the Generation 6. So, yeah, I mean, all in all, that's great, because you get 3 new starter forms and then 3 new starter Mega forms. So I'd really hope that's the case. And then it says 5 new Kalos forms have a cool time concept to them all, which is a big element to this game. So I'm assuming that's not taking into account Snivy, Torchic, and Piplup, or are they part of the 5, or are they just... Is it 5 plus those? And if it is those 5, if it is these 3, would these have like time kind of regional forms or something? I'm not sure how. I think that's just worded quite badly, but I'm assuming it's going to be 3 plus these 5. But either way, they apparently have cool time concepts to them, which is a big element to this game. So I don't know what that really means. Does that mean that they look like Paradox forms, where they look like futuristic? I guess it would be a cool way to carry on the Paradox forms. In that kind of sense from Generation 9, but I don't really know what it means by a cool time concept. Does that mean they've all got like a clock on them or something? I don't really know. But either way, apparently we're going to get some new forms as well. It says, yes, the story takes place in the past. However, many links to other regions and references to the events of Legends Arceus. So that would be a cool way to tie, obviously, Legends ZA and Legends Arceus. It does say the story takes place in the past, so it doesn't say anything about the future or the present day. So that, apparently, according to this, the whole game is set in the past. However, though, there's many links to other regions and references. So I'm assuming, like, we'd have links to maybe, like, Kanto or Johto or something like that. Whether they are called those or not, we'll have to wait and see. It depends, like, how many kind of Legends games we get, really, as well. Like, are we going to get a Legends game for every single region? So we get, like, a Kanto, like a Legends Mew, and then, like, Legends Celebi, and then, like, Legends Rayquaza or something like that. But either way, apparently there's loads of references and stuff, especially to Legends Arceus as well. Then goes on to say there will be one more Legends game announced in 2027. So that would be the 31st anniversary of Pokemon. I mean, yeah, I could kind of see that. We've had, what, a 2-year gap in between. We've had a 3-year gap between Legends Arceus and Legends ZA. And then it'd be a 2-year gap between Legends ZA and 2027. I mean, it depends what they do. Like, if they do Generation 5 remakes this year, and then they do Legends ZA next year, and then they do Generation 10 in 2026. 2027, would they really do Legends Generation 10 Legends? I don't think so. I don't think that's enough of a gap. But then we got Legends Scarlet and Violet Legends, I guess, if we don't get anything this year. So maybe that is the case. So maybe it isn't actually that far-fetched. No pun intended. And it says to complete this trilogy takes place in Johto. So the trilogy part makes sense because there's 3 books on the desk of the reveal trailer for Pokemon Legends Arceus, and one of them was green, which could be the Zygarde book. So it could be a trilogy, and then that one takes place in Johto, which I really, really hope is the case. I really wanted Legends Celebi going into this Presents that we got in 2024 on Pokemon Day, and with all the unknown and stuff, I was like, oh my god, it's actually going to happen. Unfortunately, it was not, though. But I would still really love a Johto Legends game, and it makes sense. Like, Celebi is literally the time-traveling Pokemon. I mean, I don't even know how if we're gonna be transported to, like, Legends ZA like we were in Legends Arceus. Maybe Arceus just teleports us to all these different regions or something. But either way, Celebi definitely makes the most sense for time travel and everything like that. And then goes on to say all mechanics are the same as Arceus, so I'm assuming as Legends Arceus, in regards to catching, shiny Pokemon, outbreaks, etc. So, yeah, I mean, I really hope that's the case. I hope they don't kind of change the formula too much. Like, what made Legends Arceus was really good, and I really hope they carry that on. I'm assuming the catching means, like, obviously real time stuff like that. The shiny Pokemon, I'm assuming, is the diddle-ding when you obviously come across a shiny, and then outbreaks, I'm assuming, yeah, like the same shiny hunting method. It doesn't say anything here about agile style and strong style, so I mean, I'm assuming they'd carry that on as well. If they're carrying on catching, shiny Pokemon mechanics, and outbreaks, it'd be weird to not have the battle mechanics as well. Which, like I say, I really hope all that is in the next game. Then goes on to say the game takes place just in Lumiose, which obviously we already know. but there are small wild areas in each part of the city with stronger mons as you progress through the game. So yeah, I mean, that doesn't, like, that's the only thing that really makes sense in terms of how we're going to get so many Pokemon in the city. Like, the city has to be like the buildings, and then the outskirts of the city has got to be like wild areas or rivers or just kind of like wild Pokemon spawns, because I just don't understand how we're going to fit like I don't know how big the Pokedex is going to be, but let's say there's like 300 Pokemon in this game. How are they going to fit 300 Pokemon into one city? They're going to have like outskirts of like wild Pokemon and stuff. So yeah, and then it says obviously the stronger mons as you progress through the game. So I'm assuming that's kind of like piggybacking off what other people have said, where we start in like one area, we complete that, and then we go into the next area, we complete that, and there's stronger Pokemon as we go through the areas, which I really like that theory, and I'm assuming that, yeah, they're just kind of piggybacking off that, or unless it's true, like this could be true, you never know. And then goes on to say, the game is planned to release January 2025, Gen 10 announced in February 2025 during the Presents. So yeah, that's obviously following the Legends Arceus kind of release schedule. January 2025 does make sense. It depends if we get Black and White remakes this year. If we get them in November, then I could understand Legends ZA being pushed back to like late 2025, because we would have had a game each year anyway. But if we don't get anything this year, and then we get this in Jan 2025, we'll have to get something new announced in February 2025. Which is most likely going to be Generation 10. It could even be Gen 5 remakes. You know, we might get Legends ZA January, Pokemon Day Presents 2025, Generation 5 remakes, and then obviously 2026's Pokemon Day, we get Generation 10 announced for the 30th anniversary. And then it says Generation 5 remakes announced in June this year, faithful, not chibi style. So all in all, I don't mind this rumor. There's nothing here that really like I'm completely against. Again, I'm not sure about the time concept for the Kalos forms, and like I don't know if this is regarding the stars as well. But apart from that, I can't really see like any massive hiccups. It does sound like a bit of a wish list, if I'm gonna be honest. But I like it. There's nothing here that like makes it scream fake. But again, like this person could have just done the research. You don't know. But either way, though, that is going to be everything from me. So what are your thoughts on this rumor? Do you think it is true or not? I'd love to hear what you guys have to say about it. And also, as well as that, what are your thoughts on the potential Nintendo Switch 2 stuff? And also, what are your thoughts on this anime thing as well? So let me know your thoughts on all of that. And yeah, again, do you like the idea of this rumor or not? Or do you think it's just complete hocus pocus? But yeah, thank you for watching. Subscribe if you're brand new. Ring the notification bell for daily Pokemon content. Have a fantastic rest of your day. And until next time, peace.